I did notice Anytone with RT Systems. So I'm kind of curious. I haven't checked it yet. So let me go and see by chance if RT Systems has.
They don't list that handheld, I don't think.
No, I'm just looking at it. They're all the analog. And I knew, yeah. So here it is here. You're quite right there, Michael.
And if you go to DMR, I don't think it's in DMR either.
No.
This is a case of too many code plugs, is it?
Well, I think that's the problem. So this is Anytone handheld radios. This is the AT878 UV plus, but they don't have the 878. These are all analog radios.
Is yours the 2, Al, with the 500,000 contacts?
No, mine is got the 200,000 in it.
Okay.
So one of
So I know nothing about DMR, but what exactly is a code plug?
A code plug is a programming, and I'm going to show you here right away.
It's more than just frequency memories and things.
Well, DMR is a little different to program. So let me get out of here, and let me stop sharing for a minute. Or no, I'm not going to stop sharing. Michael, which
I
one?
went to Bridgecom, and the only thing I can find the only thing I can find is New York is the closest that comes to us. They don't even list Canada.
No, no. Code plugs, you've got to.
They list Australia.
Yeah. So bridgecomsystems.com, if you're looking at DMR for Anytone, the Anytone radio. Okay, you go here. And Bridgecom are the main producers. Now, Anytone is a Chinese radio, but a very well-produced Chinese radio. Okay, it's distributed through the U.S. through Bridgecom Systems, and they're the main distributors of this this radio in itself. So what you do is you go up to support at the top. Click on support.
Are you logged in, Al, or are you just in as a guest right now?
I'm just in as a guest.
Okay.
And basically, what you do is you've got the software. Have you, Michael, for the latest? I think it's...
Yes. Yeah, the CPS, I think they call it.
So what you do is you look for the support, firmware, and drives, CPS, firmware.
Yeah, it was on the right there. It's firmware and CPS.
Right. Okay, depending on the model that you have, and you click on that. So what I'm going to do is if I'm, what I'll do, I'm going to have to stop sharing. Go into my screen, and now I'm going to bring up the latest software, which is 123 for the, so you download the software.
Right.
For it.
So it's similar to updating the firmware in the radio, what they call a code plug.
I think they give you 2 files. One is the software and one is the firmware, but the code plugs are independent. You have to find that file somewhere else.
So that would be similar to my SignalLink USB and my Rig Blaster boxes, that they give you dual pin strips, and you jumper them.
Most of the time when you hear somebody mention a code plug, they're just giving you a programming file for a certain radio.
Correct.
And it's going to be the way their radio is set up, you know. So basically you swap so like Motorola or whatever, a code plug is like for a certain radio. It's actually got a serial number attached to it. You can't use it on another Motorola radio. It can only be used to program. But OWL and, it basically, the word code plug is tossed around, and all it is a programming file. Code plug for Chirp, for your Bofang. It's going to dump like OWL's Bofang programming into your Bofang radio. Okay, so a code plug in the most generic sense of the word is just a programming file.
It's just a programming file. Exactly.
Can you interchange the programming file in Alloton?
Not between Motorola's or whatever, but between, like Bofangs and TYTs and all this other stuff. Sure you can, yes.
Okay.
So then maybe this easiest solution, Al, would be if I got a file from you for the Anytone and I could dump it on mine.
We could put them up on the website, man. We can make a, call it code plugs or whatever. And, the good thing to do is like when you've got a new radio, the first thing you want to do is download what's in the radio in case you dork something up. Okay, so we could have different code plugs up there. We could have a naked Bofang up there, say, out of the box or whatever, in case you dork something up. And then we could have OWL's, we could have mine, we could have, whoever's up there. And if you've got one that you've added or whatever, one that you've tweaked to put in certain frequencies or whatever, and that, like say it's a Chirp file, you can go in there and snatch whatever out of that you're interested in and dump it into your Chirp file and save it, instead of wiping out the whole damn thing. So, yeah.
But when you download that Chirp file, it overrides the original file, though.
No. You open it. You open the file, and it's called VE3AJB. And then if you save it, then it's going to append that file name. It's not going to overwrite nothing.
Okay.
Claude, you have to save the original file, give
That's
it a
right.
particular name.
And you save as, if there's a save as button, use it. It's like in any program, Word, if you hit the save button, then I do it all the time. I'll pull up an estimate I did for somebody and I'll change it for somebody else. And if I don't remember to rename it right away, I'll just hit the damn save button, and then I just blew away the original quote I did for XYZ company back in 2012 or something, So save as buttons.
But it doesn't override the original file. You don't want to override the original
that's
file.
a completely separate thing. That's the
Okay.
like if you're programming it yourself, you get the radio out of the box. The first thing you need to do generally is read the radio. As soon as you read the radio, you save that someplace. And then you go in there and dork it up to your heart's content and save as a different file name.
Okay, I
And if
understand.
you ever get to the point of no return, you just upload, you just reprogram it using that original file and start over from scratch. Because you could actually change something in the radio that can actually, it might even brick the radio on some of them. So.
Oh, let me just quickly show you. Can you see the display? Am I projecting it?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So this is my save as file. If you notice, I have various call signs in here. I've got V3AJB, K7FLA, MMOABC, V3AJB, and VA3JNO. I've got VA3SB, VA3EMG, and that EJF, and all the different ones. I have the version numbers, I have the model number of the radio, and I have the dates. Okay, so I can bring up whatever program that I do. So as Rusty was saying, as soon as I do up a file, or what we call in DMR world, a code plug is what they call a code plug with it. That's what it looks like right here. And this is the programming under the Anytone series. And this is what you have to do. Now, programming DMR is a lot different than programming FM, D-Star, or System Fusion, because there are certain things that you need to do. You can do analog frequencies in there, just like a regular radio. So I can put RMI and TOP and all those frequencies that are not digital and use it out of this radio as an FM analog radio. But I can go to the DMR side of things. And if you notice along the left-hand side here, you have digital. All right. Now I have different digital information. Radio ID list. When you click on radio ID list, this is where your 7-digit DMR number has to go in the radio.
I'm not seeing that same screen as, are you on a different screen there, Al, or?
Okay, so you're not I'm not projecting this screen?
No, you're not.
Okay. Anybody else seeing it? No? Okay, I'm not hearing anybody, so.
Well, we're seeing a big spreadsheet with the different.
And what should we be seeing?
Can you see that? No? Okay.
No.
I don't
Try
see
this
anything.
again. Hang
No.
on. This is such a pain in the ass, this stuff. Where's my, okay.
More fun than antennas, right?
All right, are you seeing
No
that?
such
Oh,
thing.
that's
Yes.
better.
Yes, yes.
Now you're seeing it. Okay. So let me go back. This was the code plug here. Let me go to the channels. These
Oh,
are
okay.
channels
Okay.
I have.
Yeah.
So the left-hand side, this is the Bridgecom software. And Michael, I take it if you've got any questions, throw in here because you may have started.
Yes, so I tried to upload a code plug, the one from New York State,
Right?
and I could see all those frequencies, but then it disappeared on me. And I think I know what my issue is.
Okay.
I'm running a Mac with Windows as a virtual machine. It's not going to cut the mustard because I think when the radio reboots, it loses the connection. So I'm going to have to go to a real Windows machine, I guarantee.
Good Windows. Yes.
Okay, now this program is only available for Windows, then it won't work on Mac.
Correct. But
Oh,
I do.
okay,
I
there's
run
another
Mac.
story there.
Yeah, I
Okay.
run Mac as a virtual machine in the background, but it's no good. So yeah.
Okay,
It has to be true Windows.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Unfortunately. So when you download it, okay, basically this is what comes up and it will be blank. There'll be nothing in it. All right.
No, there's two. I see two frequencies, but they're
Okay,
useless.
there could be two frequencies as a simplex 146010 or something like that, 14652 or whatever. I don't know what's in it, but so you have different things, common settings. You've got channels, zone, scan list, roaming zone, FM, auto repeater offset frequencies, roaming channels, device information, optional settings, alarm settings, local information, and a hotkey. Now, it gets complicated with DMR. There's a lot of areas that you need to fill in. So the first thing that we're going to do is have a look at the device information. And when we do that, it will show the model of your radio, okay? So when you download it from the Bridgecom, and I'm just talking Anytone right now. I'm not talking any other DMR radio, not Motorola, not the TYT handhelds. It's totally different. We'll take you to that website later. I'm talking Anytone, Anytone radio. Go to Bridgecom, download the latest model that you have. If you're not sure of the model, you take the battery off the back of the radio and you look at the thing on the back, and your model number is listed there on the back of the battery. Okay, so you make sure you've got the right, download the right software off the Bridgecom Systems software.
You know, Al, that's interesting because when I open mine, it shows 136 to 174 and 400 to 480, but not when you turn the radio on. I'm capped at 420 to I think 450 and 144 to 148.
Yes, one is transmit, the other is receive.
Yes, but I saw a YouTube video, and you know the one thing is the guy, and this was from the Far East, and his showed the lower frequencies, but he obviously unlocked it. Mine is telling me it's already unlocked, but it's not,
So you
which is interesting. Yeah.
So did you unlock the radio? The first thing, it comes with a paper in the Anytone box that you need to unlock the radio.
Don't think so.
Okay, that's why you're having issues. Okay, I don't know if it's in my box or not. Let me have a look.
Well, the only thing I really got was the business about the Bridgecom University.
Yeah, well, that's good. A lot of good information in there. Let me see if it's in my Anytone box here. So let me see.
I mean, not that I'm trying to be a shit disturber, but and I'm trying to use this so that it'll talk to walkie-talkies, and obviously those frequencies aren't in there. So
I have to unlock it first, and I'm looking for the piece of paper, and no, I don't have the piece of paper. Oh, wait a second, maybe I do.
keep in mind, this is a current model, and it's possible that the FCC is doing something to, discourage it.
Well, it may be. There you go. It, you see, so on the side of the box, of course, it gives the information in the dots on the frequencies. So mine is an D878UV. And I've got GPS and it's got the extended battery, the 3100 milliamp hour battery.
Yeah, and the information on my box is the same as on the inside of the radio,
Okay,
but I don't have access to those frequencies because when I turn the radio on, it'll start at I forget where it is, but it's kind of blocked out so that I can't get the full range that's listed.
okay. Well, then this is where you go in this general settings here. This is the crucial part with it. What when you click on the basic information, what pops up?
You mean device info?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because I've tried to program it and it's telling me I've got access to 400 to 480, 136 to 174. If I go into my menu and tell you my settings, device info, I'm only 144 to 148 and 420 to 450.
Okay, so it's got, okay, so what's happened? Did you get the amateur, is your tri-band the amateur model? Not the commercial, mine's the commercial model.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay, so if yours is the amateur model, then that's what you're going to have. There are two radios. There's the amateur and the commercial.
How would you know which one it is?
Well, you know what? I think it's just software, and basically you go in there and you reprogram it. I haven't been able to figure out how to do it yet, but my understanding is that the hardware doesn't even change in these.
Where it from?
Reading online.
Oh, okay.
And that was the one comment they're saying, hey, the days of hardware are history. This is all software. And basically they warn you. They say, hey, you know what? FCC says you can't do this, but you can. You just need passwords and whatnot to get in there and do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's interesting with it because, yeah, Bridgecom make two different, the amateur model and the commercial. For instance, let me just show you here.
Well, you know, when the landing page for Bridgecom, you see that guy with the beard and he says, oh, before you buy a digital radio, read this. And of course they're pushing this radio, and nowhere do they ever mention commercial and an amateur version. It's just the one they ever talk about.
Yeah, but that's my question. How would you know which one it is if it's commercial or amateur, you know? They must
Well-
have a, like a,
They do. They do.
Well-
I'm
Well,
gonna
well,
look
well,
for it here and see.
the mere fact that my box and the inside of this tells me I've got those frequencies is suspect because it's locked out.
Okay, so let's look at shop. Amateur, commercial. Okay, so we're gonna go to amateur radio.
where
Handheld.
are you now? Well, we're not seeing that page right now.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Okay, got it.
so you go to shop. You see where it goes amateur radio, commercial radio.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna go to amateur first. And we're gonna click on that. Handheld, mobile, etc. So we're gonna go to handhelds. We now go to handhelds, radio. So now you've got the different versions of the handhelds that are there, okay? This is the latest one, the AT D878 UV2 Plus.
Which ones do you have, Michael?
Yeah, that one right there.
Okay.
And by the way, I found out the hard way because I didn't shop around enough yet. DX Canada, basically $380, Amazon $300, but with your exchange, it's the same thing.
Right, right. So this is the amateur related radio, okay, because it's under amateur radio. And basically, does it give the listings of the frequencies?
You know what's interesting? If you go to the commercial, not to jump on you there, but it's the same price and they're listing the same radio, same price. I find it hard to believe that there's a difference.
Yeah.
Other than maybe locked out frequencies.
Well,
I gotta go, guys. Sorry,
something to that
my
effect.
battery's running down. See
Okay.
you. See you later in the week.
Okay,
Andy.
thanks, Andy.
Yeah,
Bye, everybody.
bye-bye.
Okay, I'm gonna go to commercial handheld radios. And here it is here.
No, down on the bottom. Bottom, there you go.
Okay, commercial radio, yeah.
Same
2V+.
price.
And this is the commercial one.
So you'd think if you had a superior product, they'd be charging you more money. And the answer is it's not superior. It's all software is what I was reading.
Well,
Just-
then you're gonna have to, yeah, get in there and find out. You see, when I bought mine, so this says here, can transmit and receive on 400 to 480,
Okay,
136 to 174.
right. Okay.
Amateur one,
Doesn't say that.
you're only gonna get 144 to 148 and 420 to 450. That's the difference with the two, because when I bought mine down in Dayton, I talked to the guy about it and he said, do you want the commercial or do you want the amateur one? And I said, well, give me the commercial because I like to listen to the fire departments and, you know, other stuff, because some of them are going to DMR too, and that. So I got the commercial one, and mine right out of the box for whatever to 400 to 480, and
That same radio, when it's advertised at for amateur, does it say can transmit and receive in these channels, or it doesn't?
well, here's the difference. I wasn't 100% sure about the handhelds, but let's take a look at the shop amateur radio. Okay, but I'm going to go to the mobile, and Dennis, DCB, you will know this because I think yours Dennis has got, have you got the 578 UV 2 or 3 plus?
Yep.
Okay. So this is
No, 578 UV3 Pro.
3 Pro. You have the Pro model. See, they make the same radio, looks identical, but there's a difference in all these radios,
Yeah.
right? If we click on the Pro, it's got Bluetooth and that, programming, GPS, comes with the code plug. Have you got 220 on yours, Dennis?
Yeah.
Okay.
222 to
Yours is the
225.
amateur, which got 2 meters, 220, and 440.
Yes.
But I think you're limited to the amateur.
Yeah, it says 144 to 148,
There you go.
420 to 1 to 450,
Exactly.
222, 225.
So if you go back and go back again, and you go to the shop and go to the commercial radio and go to the mobile radios, this is the only one you can buy. It's the Pro, but it gives you, the radio has the exact same features as the tri-band 578 UV3 Pro, except it is a dual band, UHF, VHF, and it is commercial Part 90 accepted, including Bluetooth and that, which means you can do the 480, and it may be listed somewhere here in the thing. It's very complicated when I was watching this. And the guy specifically said, there it is right there. Transmit, receive, 136 to 174, and 4 right there. So it's, so I think that may be the issue with the handheld. You got the amateur one, Michael. So, anyway.
The reason I picked up the Pros because I wanted to talk to professional people.
Well, good luck. We're all amateurs there.
So you wanted to talk to, Dennis
Yes.
wanted to talk to Howdy Doody.
Yes, to all of yous, you see, or you're all professional people. So that's why I took the Pro. I says, holy man, they know.
There you go. Oh, that's funny.
Just have to throw more money at it.
Yeah.
So
So,
it's actually the same price.
No, no, it's a little bit more the commercial,
so here,
the mobile.
here's the thing to program that. You've got to take these into account. So the first thing that you need to do is, of course, you've got the channels. And what have I got here in channels? I think I've got, I don't know, what have I got? I don't have a hell of a lot. I've got maybe 600 and some odd channels in my handheld. Now, where are we going here? Okay, oops.
But you know, Al, the thing with my box, because you mentioned it, I never noticed it on the box. It still tells me what my frequencies are, and maybe
Well,
they've.
You could have the commercial model, but I don't know.
That's a good question. How do you find out which one you have?
Good question. It could be a serial number. I don't know. You'd have to search it, but just the simple fact that you can only get 144 to 148 and 430 to 450 is telling me you've got the amateur model.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll continue researching, but like I said, that what I saw, these things are nothing more than software upgradable. There's no.
There's probably a way of undoing it. Yes, absolutely.